What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Curtis Review. It's been a while, and I'm happy to say that I've recently relocated to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm actually filming in my new office today. Give me a break on the bare bones walls. I'm working on getting some art and some other goodies put up there so it looks a little less like a blank wall. The movies in the next couple of videos coming out are all movies I watched either during or after the moving process, just kind of catching you up on what I've been up to recently. So without further ado, let's gather the balls and summon Shenron. Dragon Ball: The Path to Power is a 1996 movie that basically condenses and reimagines the Dragon Ball storyline. It was directed by Shigeyasu Yamaguchi with cinematography by Masaru Sakanishi. The Dragon Ball GT animation team handled all of the animation in this film, and that's really where it shines. It makes me feel old saying that I owned this movie on VHS, and I definitely ran that thing through the VHS player way too many times. If you're watching this and you don't know what a VHS player is, just Google it. Dragon Ball is perhaps the most charming and enduring of the Dragon Ball franchise storylines, but as someone who grew up as a diehard DBZ fan, or Dragon Ball Z, that's still up for debate. For those not familiar, Dragon Ball is the story of Son Goku, a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed young boy who goes off on a bunch of fantastical adventures with friends, rivals, and faces lots of interesting and quirky enemies. He fights the Red Ribbon Army, participates in the World Tournament, trains, and most importantly, somehow manages to stuff bowls and bowls of rice and food down his gullet. He's got an endless appetite. You've got Master Roshi's Kamehameha, Bulma's panties, and the various ways that Goku, Roshi, and Oolong kind of do Bulma dirty, and of course, lots and lots of great action set pieces. Some of these story beats may not have aged very well, but for the most part, moves along at a fairly good pace, stays interesting, and is quite funny. A lot of the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies often have like a TV movie vibe. The Path to Power doesn't really feel that way. It doesn't feel so much like a cash grab. What it does feel like is love and attention were really put into the process of producing, animating, and making this movie. You can tell the GT animation team and the team behind the GT anime itself really had a love and respect for the source material that they were building from, and it's really cool to see how they kind of reimagine different fights, scenes, and characters. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is near the end. We have already become acquainted with an android 8, who Goku affectionately nicknames Aider. Aider ends up sacrificing his life against the Officer Black of the Red Ribbon Army, which that name's a little bit on the nose. In response, Goku just has this emotional reaction to Aider dying. While I don't love the name Aider, I don't know why, it's kind of cringy to me. I do like the character of Android 8, and I like the purpose that he serves in showing how full and loving of a character Son Goku is. What ends up happening is Goku demolishes Officer Black with an enormous Kamehameha wave. It's just one of the best parts of the movie. It really plucks at those heartstrings, and it really worked for me. Then we of course get the final wish to Shenron. Everybody gets wished back to life, and the movie finishes up. As far as Dragon Ball movies rank, this one gets a solid B rating from me. It's a film that I have returned to time to time. I find it very funny, and I think it's a great way to kind of get all of the Dragon Ball storyline in under 60 minutes. That said, I do get a little tired of it after a while because I'm so familiar with the source material, and I really think the reason to watch this movie is for the animation and the action scenes. The stuff with Bulma and Roshi and all that stuff's really fun. You do get to see a super bulked up Master Roshi really go ham on some Red Ribbon Army ships and fighters. Overall, not quite A tier, but it is a very good movie, and I would definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're a newcomer. I think this is very welcoming to people who maybe don't know a lot about Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. It's a great way to see a very well-made movie take the Dragon Ball storyline and put it into a very bite-sized piece for you to easily digest. I mean, watching hundreds and hundreds of episodes isn't really the greatest way to get somebody into a new series. You kind of gotta wean them on it. So definitely check this one out regardless, and make sure to stay tuned for more Dragon Ball themed content. I've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Please comment below what Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, or GT movies, episodes, content you might like to see me talk about. Lastly, please consider liking and subscribing, and until next time, peace out.
So why are you showing me your butt? What do